Web3 has really been blowing up online. I'm seeing everyone talk about it on Twitter. There's NFTs everywhere. Everyone's changing their profile pictures to NFTs. I'm seeing NFTs being sold for hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars. And so I was like, what is going on here? I wanted to learn more about the technology and why people are seeing this as valuable. Is this a bubble? And can someone, really make money off this thing? So I'm going to share what I found in this video. I really got interested in NFTs when I saw one of my good friends, Ben, who's a co-host of my podcast, buy a lazy lion. So I talked to him about it. I was like, why are you buying this lazy lion? He made his profile picture on Twitter and he spent about $2,000 on this NFT. I'm just like, are you serious? Like, you can buy an image for that much money? And there's NFTs that are going for way more than that. And it was just, a very curious thing. So I started to hear why he was getting into it. I then started to see that there's actually communities built around these NFTs, because each NFT collection typically is around 10,000 unique NFTs. And it's like this community of people that have skin in the game. And they all kind of hang out in these Discord channels and are chatting and stuff. So I joined the Lazy Lion Discord channel and it was crazy. There were people just typing at any second. There was always someone typing in the Discord, people having chats, having fun. And then they would raid Twitter with tweets about lions, and you'd see just lions, pictures of lions everywhere. What I thought was really interesting was they had these Twitter spaces where Heat and Shaw and some other lions would host these Twitter spaces and just be helpful to people, help answer questions about NFTs and about the community. And it was really cool because that's where I was really starting to learn about this whole space, and really kind of intrigued me that, maybe this is something I should try out. And really the best way to learn about it is just go in on it. And so I decided to buy a lazy lion. I was looking, and when I started to look, it was at around 0.6, 0.7 Ethereum. Right then and one night when I was looking to buy one, I was kind of getting picky, oh, I want this one that looks exactly like this. But then Logan Paul, the big YouTuber, he bought one. And then from there, it just started to go crazy. The price just went up. And within 24 hours, I think it went from 0.7 ETH to 1.7 ETH. And so in the middle of that, I bought at 1 Ethereum, which is $3,400, which is crazy. It was hard to tell my wife that I bought a PNG for that much money. So what is an NFT anyways? Well, it stands for a non-fungible token, which is, the opposite of a fungible token. A fungible token can be something like gold or, the US dollar, where it's very easy to trade it. The same, one bar of gold is the same as another bar of gold, and they have the same value. Where a non-fungible token is a one of one. It's like a piece of art that's super unique, that there's nothing else like it out there in the world, and you can't just trade that with another asset. So the blockchain represents a unique image, art, the NFT, by creating a one-of-one token. It's not like Bitcoin that can be traded. It has unique ID that can't be replicated, and so it's a one-of-one that the blockchain stores. And so the creator of the art mints the NFT. They first put it onto the blockchain and sign it with their signature. And that's how you know that this is a unique token that is created by this person. And then you can then buy it from the creator, and that transaction goes on the blockchain that shows that you, the owner, actually own this thing, and that's verified on the blockchain. Now, I think it's a little weird, and this is where I think there is a little bit of a problem with some NFTs, where the transaction has data, metadata about the NFT. You can show data about the rarity, the traits, characteristics of the NFT, but then it just has an image typically where it's pointing out to somewhere else, some other server where the image is actually stored. In a lot of cases, the image isn't actually stored on the blockchain because images are too big to be on the blockchains right now. And so there's these other services like IPFS where they just replicate the image in tons of different servers, and that's what the blockchain then points to, and it's kind of okay. There's some other projects that I like more where everything is on chain, where the images, the NFTs are small enough that they can actually be data on the blockchain. And so I really like those kind of projects, but there does seem to be a little bit of problem with that, because someone could maybe change, if it's off on another server, they could change that image and kind of break your NFT, and it's not really there anymore. So as I started to go down this NFT rabbit hole, I got more and more excited as I saw the technology. I'm not like super excited about like these different odd images and characters that you can buy as NFTs. But I saw that there's really a lot more potential here where these NFTs could be way bigger, way more, and as the technology grows, I think there's some really cool things that could happen. One example is just like a ticket in the real world to like concerts or just random stuff, basically just the idea of a ticket that gives you access to something. And the cool thing about the blockchain is that it's all public and transparent, where other providers and services can take a look at what's in your wallet and actually see that you have an NFT and validate that you're the only person that can have this, and maybe you get something because of that. So I think there's lots of cool ideas that come about because of that. And really, there's so many ideas like you can't really fathom in your head like what could come of this. But I just see the potential to see that I think it's a lot more than just like these punks on images. So that kind of brings us to the question of what actually makes these NFTs valuable in their current state, the current kind of like 10,000 NFT images, what makes them valuable? And so it's kind of interesting because it's kind of just like an extension of the collectibles world, which there's already a pretty big market of collectibles where people, buy physical collectibles, like baseball cards, Pokemon cards, things like that. And it kind of is allowing that to extend into the digital world. And so you can kind of see some value already coming from that. But I think what's really interesting is the people that I think value this the most are younger people that kind of grew up in the age of the internet, and they grew up playing lots of games where they were buying stuff in game and like showing it off to their friends. And they already had a lot of their status in the online world. And so NFTs give these people kind of a way to actually own something and have a status that they can carry around in an image and an art piece. And so there's definitely some value there for those kind of people. And then I think a lot of the value is coming from just the potential I was talking about. Like a lot of people are seeing this as the beginning of a very big wave, NFTs. And so just being like the first of these NFTs, like CryptoPunks, Bored Apes, you're kind of being in a project that's the first of its kind. And so if NFTs is going to be a huge wave, then kind of being in early could be really valuable. Crazy to see that some NFTs have just gone for millions of dollars, a couple million. There was actually a Lazy Lion, which is part of the community I'm in, that sold for $300,000. It was the rarest lion. And when I saw that, I was just like, wow, that's crazy. So there's lots of people that are jumping into the space that have a lot of money that it almost seems like they're just kind of having fun with it. And so there is definitely like value being seen. There's these communities that there is some value in like being a part of a community, but like, I don't know, you could argue like, is it really that valuable that you're willing to pay thousands of dollars to get into this community? And so I think there's a lot of things that are still kind of unknown to be seen. And it's kind of hard, right? Because it's kind of like any other crypto where it's a token, it's an asset where basically it's valuable because people see it as value. They give it a value just like we give the US dollar a value. And so if you have enough people doing that, it actually is seen as valuable. So I think that's kind of what we're seeing. And so that kind of brings the question of, is this a bubble? Is NFTs a bubble? I've kind of started to grow ideas about what I think about this thing as I've been more in it and as I've actually had my own NFTs. I actually bought another group of NFTs called the Metaverse Soldiers, where I actually helped mint the NFT, and I paid like $200 per NFT and bought 3 of them right at the mint. And it did not go very well. The mint kind of was a disaster. And so afterwards, everyone just started trying to sell. Everyone just tried to get out. And now the value of my Metaverse Soldiers is lower than what I bought them for, which isn't that great. So you can definitely lose money on this. And that kind of brings us to like, there are decent amount of like pump and dump schemes, Ponzi schemes that are going out there in the NFT world because it is the Wild West. And so you have to really be careful of like what you're getting into, really check on who the creators are. Kind of hard to see where the value is in some of these NFTs. And so I do think we are in a bit of a bubble where just tons of people are jumping in just because they got dollar signs in their eyes and they can see that, oh wow, that person just made $300,000 from selling his line. I'm gonna go put money into this. And then they put money into something that really isn't that valuable. So like, I would guess that maybe 90% of NFTs at some point are gonna go to zero. But I do see the potential that there is value in this and that it's gonna blow up to be a big thing, but maybe only certain NFTs right now are actually gonna continue to have that value. The last question I wanted to cover is, should you get into this? And I guess my answer is just yes. Like, I think it's something worth dabbling in just to like learn. And I think that's the coolest thing about the NFT space is it's really pushing the space forward and making lots of people jump into the space because there's a lot of money there. New technologies are being built. And I'm starting to see more and more that I think blockchain is going to be the future. And so I think that's really the main value of getting into NFTs is just to learn about the space, learn how wallets work. And so I'd say get into it just for that reason. And maybe don't put a ton of money into it, just put a little bit of money that you're like willing to lose, because you never know what could happen. I mean, my lazy lion that I bought for 1 Ethereum, it after a week had gone up to like 3 Ethereum. And if I would have, I would have tripled my money if I sold out at that time. But now we're in kind of a low in the NFT space, it seems like. And so now the lions are back to 1.1. So it's like I'm almost back to where I started. And so it's just really hard to know. You could definitely lose some money in the space, but I think it's fun and it's kind of interesting to be a part of the communities. And so I'd say, try it out. But definitely be kind of careful because there's definitely some scams and weird things going on out there. Now, you can definitely make some money off of buying and selling and flipping NFTs. I know like friends of friends that like they full time are doing NFTs and flipping NFTs. It's pretty crazy how much money some people are making, but it is definitely very risky. So I hope you enjoyed my journey of going down the rabbit hole of NFTs. If you did, definitely hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and let me know in the comments if you'd like me to make some more videos about the Web3 world and what I'm learning there. It's kind of fun to explore, and so I'm thinking about doing that. So if you encourage me, I might be more likely to do that. But thank you for watching, and bye for now.